Good morning. Welcome to morning practice with Olivia. Just checking the volume on this. Microphone is on. Yeah. I will check the sound. I believe everything is working. I just got a strange message from Zoom, but sorry about that distraction. Um, yes, here we are on January 10th, Wednesday, the day before the new moon, tomorrow. Great time to actually set intention, and the energy is really with you at this moment to set intention to just of the alignment of this particular new moon really supports any visions going forward. Though curiously, that is what I am definitely coming up against today, having to let go of something I really wanted to happen. And have been working on it for about 2 months, I think, since I knew of it. I thought it might be further along, but it came up earlier for 2023 than I thought, and really practicing envisioning it and manifesting it, being able to participate in this event. And I think it's pretty clear today that today's the deadline. It's not going to happen. And really, these things that happen to us are just always opportunities to examine our own relationship to attachment and how we define ourselves through the things that we're attached to. It really calls to mind once again one of the yamas of the eight limb practice, which is asteya, non-stealing. And, that one really comes up for me a lot and has done throughout my life, not wanting something that isn't mine, not wanting something that isn't freely given. And if, the universe aligns you with something, it will happen. And as this deadline approached, I really believed and envisioned that I would align with it, and it hasn't happened. And I now today, January 10th, 2024, have to let it go. And it's bittersweet. I mean, the spiritual lesson is always there. Surrender, release, non-attachment, not being defined by whether or not I take part in this event. Just my strong, strong, strong desire to. And then not letting the fact that I'm had attachment to the event, make the rest of my life today disappointing, because it isn't. And there's so much to be grateful for. And there's so much that I do have. And there is so much I am being invited to take part in. It's, just the human school that we're in, which is learning to release and surrender when things don't go the way we want them to. And I'm definitely engaging with that today. So I share that with you, if that's any sort of way of communicating. Maybe things aren't, there's an aspect or part of your envisioning and hoping that looks like it's probably not going to happen. I somehow, when people talk about manifestation and manifestation language, what I'm doing right now is probably counter to manifesting things happening, but you know, you have to be honest, I think, at the end of the day about what really is possible. And I absolutely believe that anything is possible. The impossible can be made possible, but it has to be in alignment. And if it's not, then we just have to surrender and let go. And as we let go, enjoy what else there is so much of around us at all times. Yoga is a practice not just of the mat and the meditation and the pranayama, but really just about cultivating that relationship of awareness with yourself, particularly around the attachments that we have, the things that define us, that don't define us. And always working on that, you know, just always being aware of being able to have a relationship with yourself that you are invested in and feel good and respectful and loving towards yourself, towards this, this creature, and not letting outer circumstances rule that judgment, or invoke any kind of judgment, really. And we do live in a world where, you know, value by popularity, by wealth, by attainment is that's how we measure things, or that's how people measure things. And as someone who doesn't subscribe to a lot of those beliefs, because I don't see great value in the things that have that necessarily. It depends, you know. Always, it depends. Um, I just have to accept that my path is different, and it always has been, and it always will be. And I say that with love and gratitude as much as anything, because it means that I always am delivered to a different perspective on the culture and times that we live in. And as I'm sure if you're engaging with this video at all, you know what I'm talking about too. So let's just find a nice meditation this morning, and let's, you know, meditate into loving ourselves exactly as we are, who we are in this moment, that there is nothing that we don't have or do have that will make us any greater or any less than we are in this moment now. There's nothing more that we need. There's nothing that we have that establishes us as an identity. It's simply the self in presence is everything. And that self in presence is beautiful, is wise. So I invite you to close your eyes and just breathing into your being, breathing length into the spine. And if you feel called to join me, we're going to place one hand over the heart center and the other hand over top. And immediately as I do this, I feel the warmth of my palms generating a greater warmth with each other together. And this warmth of my palms together, holding my heart center, holding me. And let's just take a moment to really value and appreciate the being that you are holding in your hands. And if your hands are in your lap, just appreciating the sense of presence and energy activity that you are as we sit. And as if the hands emanated their healing love to the heart center, and the heart center resonates with its own healing light, its healing love, creating a magnetic field between the two. And this magnetic field of love and compassion, you're holding yourself in. Any noise in the brain, any noise of the mind, step away. You can engage with it later. Just take this time to hold yourself with love, hold yourself with compassion, hold yourself with appreciation for how unique and magnificent you are. Breathing in through the heart, breathing out through your heart. And as you inhale and exhale through the heart center, holding yourself with deep love and compassion, just imagine the light of your heart, Jyoti, growing, filling you up. That light is so, so bright. Whatever the circumstances, whatever we are surrendering to, that beautiful light inside your heart, magnificent, unique, always there, always emanating, always giving life force. So we'll just come to some silence. I invite you to really hold yourself with love and compassion, feeling the bright light of your heart light as we sit in meditation. Deepening the breath, really feeling yourself being held here. Finding a sense of sweetness and comfort in your own warmth. your own magnetic resonance. Just gently letting the hands fall back into the lap and blinking open the eyes. Just take a moment to feel how that landed for you. Meditation is so calming and soothing to the experience of tumult in the mind. If you have time later today to take 5 minutes to meditate for yourself, I encourage you to do that. It can be really effective when the noise and whirlings of the outer world want to carry us on their current into the tumult of life, which as a human being, we sometimes must dance with that, or elect not to. But however your relationship is with your outer world today, I invite you to take an extra 5 minutes for your inner world. So let's just breathe. And we'll continue to breathe through our heart, and we'll go over to the mat and do our breath of gratitude, calling in. If you have some blocks for practice today, that can be very useful. Blankets are good to go under the knees. Though I think after our gratitude breathing, I'm going to have us set up in a supported back bend. And the reason that I feel like that's going to be really effective is I feel a supported back bend is a really great way of physically embodying surrender in a energy of trust and release. So if you have 2 blocks, definitely bring them to the mat. If you don't have 2 blocks, some rolled up blankets for underneath the spine, or some sturdy cushions, a bolster can go along the length of the spine. If you don't have any of those, some just either sofa cushions that are maybe an oblong shape, or just regular pillows, but probably just make sure you've got 2 so it's quite sturdy, and that support will go underneath your back. But let's first go over to the mat. I'll meet you there. And sit here. Take a moment to stretch your legs out. Feeling just the length of the back of the legs here, straight in front of you. Maybe rubbing the hands on the legs if it's gotten a little chilly with sitting still. Okay, and then bring them in. And we'll sit here. I'm going to cover myself a little bit more. It's chilly this morning in San Francisco. Is it chilly where you are? It's that January time of year. I've got this lovely pocket in my sweater to keep cozy, but we're actually going to bring our arms over our heads very shortly. There's a tendency in me today that I feel quite strongly to sort of be really like internal in my nest. But it's not what the day is going to call for, unfortunately. But sometimes, I do wish I could have the freedom to sort of just have a day of being cozy and internal. But as I say, if you cannot, because of the demands and just what life is, take 5 minutes for yourself some point later today and just hold your heart and meditate in a space of love and compassion for yourself. So we'll inhale, the arms come overhead, hands come to prayer, prayer comes to heart, just offering love and gratitude for this vehicle that we go through the world in, this smart overcoat, this instrument of consciousness, this body, this physical self that is so important to our interface with the world. It is our interface with the world. And it can be magnificent and it can be painful. And all of it is information the soul is trying to tell us, trying to get us to experience our best self, our healing self. Thank you for this incredible body, this incredible heart. And then we'll inhale, arms come overhead, hands to prayer, prayer comes to heart, and we just give thanks and love for all of the people in our lives, all of the people on this planet, all sentient consciousness everywhere, galactic. We are all part of a much greater life force and consciousness than we're even aware of. And everything you do, everything everyone does matters. And I give such love and gratitude for all of the people and all of that has engaged with me, supported me, helped me, and many people I don't even know, the farmers who grow the food, the people who drive the trucks from the farms to the stores. You can go down your own exploration. There are so many people that do so much to make our lives possible. And there are so many people that we do know that contribute. So thank you for all the people. Arms come overhead, hands come to prayer, prayer comes to heart, and just in that spirit of love and gratitude, just offering that to the planet, to Earth, this incredible place of beauty, of vastness that we experience through our bodies, that we experience through our sight, through our senses. This beautiful, beautiful planet that is just generosity itself and sustaining us in what we need. We have everything we need. And we'll let your hands fall to your lap, and we're going to set up for the supported back bend. And I would say, this is how I'm going to set the blocks up. One block on a taller setting, one block on its medium setting. The taller setting is going to go underneath your head. Medium setting between your shoulder blades, with the base of this block right at the line of the shoulder blades, the base of the shoulder blades. I really encourage you to get a blanket here and get cozy. If you don't have blocks, you're going to roll a blanket into a sort of a long sausage shape and put the end of it at the base of your spine, and then just recline over the blanket. The same would be true for a bolster or an oblong pillow. If you only have like bedroom bed pillows, put two together and put them underneath your heart center so that the top of your shoulders can fall off of the pillows. So you're really being supported from behind the heart center. Everybody grab a blanket or two and make yourself super cozy in this position. As we recline over our support, whatever it may be, Your legs can either be in a butterfly or in a straight-legged position. So you see the bottom of that lower block is hitting right at my shoulder blade line and then settles between the shoulder blades. The top block supports the head, and just covering oneself with a blanket can feel really good. If you want to place the hands on the body, that might feel nice. If you want to place the hands on your side, that might feel nice. And again, just allowing yourself to really drop into your support. We are allowing ourselves to be held in our heart space from behind by this support, so that we can surrender and trust and know that we are being held as we open our hearts. I really invite you to relax into the posture, relax into the supported back bend. Really letting yourself just release here. Notice anywhere you might be gripping in the body, in the hips, in the glutes. Are you gripping, holding yourself off of the props? Sometimes we'll grip our back and not really let ourselves fully relax into the props. And sometimes it takes just being here for a while to even notice that we're doing that. That's why I really believe in the power of restorative yoga poses like this, because the way we grip ourselves is so subtle and often very, very unconscious. And it's only when we take time in a supported pose where we feel warm and safe and trusting that we can truly surrender the weight of the body. And when we truly surrender the weight of the body, that's when we begin to notice, oh my goodness, I was clenching on in my hips or my glutes, or oh, the jaw is just holding on, and you can just bring a small smile to the mouth, feeling content, and also just relaxing the jaw, feeling the length of the back of the neck, allowing the shoulder blades to really drape off your props. And just how strong and sturdy the support behind your heart center feels, holding you, supporting you in this supported heart opening position. And really feeling that expanse that the heart open position brings, the width across the chest, across the collarbones, feeling the open space of the front of the heart, being supported by this strong, safe support from behind. we'll take a few more moments here in our supported back bend. If you're really enjoying this back bend and you feel like, I just want to stay here in this position for the rest of the practice, I really invite you to do that. Sometimes movement is wonderful, and sometimes allowing the body to rest is really what we need. And as we practice together, you will cultivate your awareness to be able to listen to what your body is asking for. So if you want to just stay here in the support for the rest of practice, please, I invite you to do that. Breathing in and breathing in. You're looking to have a journey this morning with a little bit more movement. Let's all just roll our head from side to side, very gently. And to come off of your props, especially if you're on blocks, you want to just bring your feet onto the mat so that the knees point up and the feet are flat on the mat. And just arrange your hips using putting your weight into your feet so that you can begin to tilt the pelvis as you roll to one side off of the props. Come down very gently. And just let's be here in a fetal position for a moment, keeping the eyes closed. If you're like, actually, no, you're right, I want to go back, I want to be in the supported heart opener, please go back into the supported heart opener. And stay there and allow yourself to just experience that lovely sense of support for the rest of practice today. If not, you're just going to push yourself up slowly. Move our blanket to the side for one moment. We may get that out again. After our lovely supported back bend, we're going to come to a child's pose. Keeping your knees wide, your toes will touch and your hips will come back over the knees. Sorry, the hips will come back over the feet. And just let yourself sink in. Sink in. You may notice sensation on your back, body from the supported heart opener. So we're in child's pose to just counter that big opening, and almost as you can now let your back body fall forward using gravity to the front of the body in child's pose. If you want, you can bring your hands to prayer, bring that prayer to the back of your neck, and maybe just move the hips from side to side. And then we'll place the hands down and press up. You're just going to slide out onto your belly on the mat here, placing the forehead on the fingers, palms of the hands face down, and we just support. And you're just going to lift your left leg
and put it down. Lift your right leg, put it down. Lift both legs, pressing your hip points in and put them down. And then we'll take our arms alongside the body, pressing the hip points in, lifting both legs, lifting the head, the shoulders, and the arms. Do a very gentle Shalabhasana. Breathing here, feeling the back of the neck long, making sure you're not arching your neck at all. And then pressing down, hands come under shoulders. Just press up to all fours. And take a few cat cows here, arching the back, rounding the back. Feeling the space between the shoulder blades. Letting the belly drop when you arch. Rounding. We'll bring our left leg back, just rolling on the ball of the foot. The toes and ball of the foot are on the mat. And then we'll spin that heel down. Kick out your right foot for support. So you're in a supported side plank. Wait, is this a supported side plank? I don't know. It's more of a supported side stretch, and really feeling the length of the side body from the edge of the left foot to the tip of the left fingers. And then putting that down. Reset, just a little arch and around. And then bring the right foot out, roll on the ball of the foot, spinning the right heel down, kicking the left shin out, bringing the right arm up and over so that you feel the length on the right side body from the edge of the right foot to the tips of the right fingers. And let that come down. We'll sit back on our knees for a moment. And just your fingertips can go by your hips. And just lift the heart center up. And then curl the heart center in. And again, inhaling, lifting the heart center up. Exhaling, curling in. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take pigeon on one side. So again, this is something where you may want to have a blanket set up underneath you, because we'll take a slightly longer pigeon on both the right and left hand side. If you need support for underneath your knees, underneath your hip, you maybe want an extra blanket for that. So how I'm going to show this, so it just feels like a day to be cozy, right? I'm going to use the right side of my mat as the top. So I've placed a blanket here for support. You may want another blanket to cover yourself with. You may want a blanket to go under your hip for support. And I'll demonstrate what I mean. So we'll start so you'll see better with the left leg extended. So from here, you're going to bring your left foot, your left shin, not really parallel with the top of the mat. You kind of want it at a little bit of a diagonal, and you're going to place your hands right in front of that knee shin, and the left knee is going to be right by that left wrist. And then you're just going to bring your right leg, sorry, right leg is going to come round behind you. So tuck your right toes and look over your right shoulder. Just make sure that right leg is straight. And then this is where you may want some support underneath your left hip. So that might look like a block. If your hip is really having a tough time coming down, a block here can give you great support underneath your hip. Another kind of support, if your hip is not coming to the mat, would be a blanket. I was gonna put another blanket over top of me, but I feel like it's gonna just be too difficult. So I'm just going to use the blanket that I'm on. If you are able to arrange a blanket over you, that's great. So you're gonna press into your hands, feel the length of the front body from where your right leg is extending out on the floor all the way up through your heart center. And then you're just gonna fold over that front leg and checking the time so that, and just allow yourself to come into pigeon here. Again, we're using stillness and gravity to let the body relax. Once again, you may notice where you're gripping, where you're holding. Pigeon can be an incredible pose for observing our tendencies, really allowing the weight of the body to really fall over that front leg, letting yourself just release into the pose and surrendering and trusting. Allow your awareness to be observant. Allow your awareness to be curious. Allow your awareness to be steady and focused. Continuing to breathe, slowing the breath down, feeling the heart center as you inhale, feeling the heart center as you exhale. And you may notice the longer that we hold the pose, the more the body can relax into it. A lot of that unconscious gripping beginning to release. Cannot overemphasize the benefit of restorative practice for this reason. Slowing down to notice what we're unconscious of. And then slowly just taking a breath, maybe pressing into the elbows, just finding a lift of the heart center, not even full lift yet. Just come up slowly and sort of lean into your left side, lean into your left elbow and just swing your right leg forward. Now, let's just be very easy and gentle with ourselves. So your right leg, again, is going to be sort of diagonal to the front of the mat. You're going to swing that, lean into your right hip and swing your left leg around. And just adjust yourself on the right side now. Your right hip may need support underneath your hip. Most hips do. Support between the hip and the mat so that you can truly release. Again, tucking those left toes, looking over the left shoulder, making sure your leg is straight, giving it some extra extension there. And then pressing into the mat, feeling the stretch of the right hip, feeling the length from the left hip flexor up into the heart center as you fold over your right leg, coming into the pose on the second side. Again, really letting the weight of the body drop and pour over that front leg. And just noticing, observing these first few moments on the second side. What immediately comes up. And letting your body surrender to the pose. Letting your body surrender to its own wisdom. What do you need in this moment? Breathing in through the heart. Breathing out through the heart. Releasing any kind of self-judgment that may come up. Oftentimes when we take stretches into the hips and thighs and legs where we store a lot of anger. So if you notice frustrations or judgments coming up, observe them and have compassion for yourself. It's completely understandable. And I hold my frustrations and difficult circumstances with acceptance and surrender and trust. And hold myself with compassion. Allowing the weight of the body to just really guide into any deeper release now that we've been here a little bit longer. And you notice things begin to let go that needed a little bit longer. Really allowing the weight of your body and the evenness of your focus to just melt your resistance. Resistance will come up for us all. You can breathe into the experience and invite it to Let go. As you're ready, sweet, taking one more breath here. Feeling the deep release and then pressing into the elbows, just very like a baby cobra. You're just lifting the heart center, nothing else is lifting, and pressing into your elbows. Feeling the long length of the back of the neck. And then we're going to lean into our right side, into the right hip, and swing the left foot around. Let's take a straddle forward fold. Sometimes it's quite useful to sit up on a blanket to give your hips a little height. If the straddle forward fold feels like a place where you're not going to release comfortably, I really recommend having a block for underneath the forehead. If one block is not enough, 2 blocks can feel really good. But again, we're really allowing our hips to really deeply flex here. And the hips is where we do encounter a lot of resistance. So moving the flesh from under the sit bones, having the legs out wide comfortably, not at a strain. And just let's just feel that for a moment. And maybe take a roll to the right and a roll to the left. And then you're going to just allow yourself to forward fold. And if block here, you feel really perfect under the forehead. This allows the spine to be straight. The reach from the tailbone to the crown of the head is nice and long. And you can let the third eye sink in again to this supported, sturdy safety. And the body can relax and release and let go. And that's what we're doing in this forward fold. And you can imagine from your third eye, there's a vortex of pure light water, like a thin vortex spilling from out of your mind through your third eye, deep into the earth. And that vortex of white light water carrying any distractions, fluctuations, any unnecessary noise, any noise at all of the mind, the mind's eye, pouring it deep into the earth as your hips open, relaxing, releasing. Breathing in, staying connected to the heart. Breathing out through the connection to the heart. And gently we'll press ourselves up again, maybe just halfway first. Coming up really slowly. And we'll set up for our Shavasana now. So I again would really encourage you to make yourself quite cozy here. What I would do, if you have 2 blankets, let's use one blanket in a sort of short fold. Fold it again like this. So it's like this. And that's going to go underneath your head at the top of at the top of your mat. And then your other blanket can go over top of you. If you have something lovely like an eye pillow, I would say take that. If you don't have an eye pillow, we'll just do a little guided movement to get some relaxation in the eyes. So let your head be supported by the blanket that covers yourself with the second blanket. And then take a stretch. And then allowing the hands, the heels of the hands to just come over the eyes. Letting the eyeballs recede and sink back into the skull. The muscles around the eye sockets relaxing. Notice where you're gripping in the body. Slowly let that begin to release. Feel the warmth of your palms. Feeling the eye, vision centers. Allowing them to just let go. As you're ready, you'll bring your hands, arms alongside of you. Hands will turn up, palms facing up, palms facing out. Just find a place where you can completely let go. Letting your awareness travel through the body, relaxing your feet, your ankles, your back. Bringing a sense of awareness to your breath, maybe taking a deeper breath in. Stretching from your toes. Just feeling a stretch across the body. Whether you stayed in a supported heart opener for the whole practice or are in Shavasana, you're going to just slowly roll to one side. Take a moment in fetal position. And gently, as you're ready, pressing yourself up to a seat, finding some support for underneath your hips, and just letting your focus and attention settle once again in your heart center. Perhaps noticing, observing what the practice allowed for, what the practice invited. The recognition of new or different sensations around the heart center, the hips.
And feeling again the connection of the palms and the heat of the palms to the magnetic resonance of the heart center. Holding yourself here. And we'll inhale together to Om, taking a deep breath in. Bowing to you, bowing to each other. Thank you so much for walking this path with me, for bringing your presence to this practice. Together we magnify this amazing energy of compassion, self-compassion, love. Again, I invite you during the day to take 5 minutes for yourself in heart meditation. I'm just always so grateful for who you are uniquely in the world and all you do and all you bring. Thank you for joining me today. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you here tomorrow for the new moon practice, I hope. Take care, everybody.